Welcome to My Forever Home, the podcast. I'm Frances Cosway and I've helped hundreds of people create forever homes. I can't wait to share the journey with you. So let's start. Hello and welcome to this episode of Your Forever Home, the podcast, the Bathroom Design Essentials season. We're getting towards the end of the season. We've got a few more episodes left. And today I'm going to talk to you about decorating your bathroom. Now, don't overlook this aspect of your bathroom. You've done all the tile selections, you've got all your hard materials, but bathrooms left simply with their hard materials often feel cold, and I mean aesthetically, not physically, and they lack a bit of feeling and are not very inviting. So how do you actually decorate a bathroom to finish it off so it's a welcoming space and it feels more than just like tiles and bench tops? And there's lots of little things that you can do that make a really big difference. And if you just flick through magazines, you'll notice just how different a bathroom can look. And it's just got a few things in there that sort of, add to its overall look and feel and add to the decor. So today I'm going to cover off what some of those things are. These are the things that I use quite frequently. These are the things that I suggest with my clients in terms of just how to give their bathroom a little bit of an oomph and a little bit of just a bit of finesse. You can experiment with different colors and styles. Nothing's set in stone, so have a bit of fun with it. As I say, with all decorating, you can just create your own, use your own creative flair to create something that you love. So the first thing, and this will come as no surprise to those who have followed me for quite some time, and that is the first thing, and I think probably the most important thing that you can add to your bathroom are plants. Now, they are, my old favorite. It's absolutely my number one rule of thumb in decorating across your entire home. But in the bathroom, they really do add a beautiful lease of life aesthetically. Nothing ever beats plants. They generate oxygen, they add an instant lived-in feeling, and they really add a sense of calm. So if all else fails, add a plant or two or three. I think in my bathroom, I've probably got about 5, all different shapes and sizes. And it really depends on the space you have in your bathroom as to how many you can have, how they're going to be placed. So I'll give you a couple of tips. Plants also, people get a little bit nervous about plants because they're worried they're going to die and they don't know how to care for them. But plants actually, a lot of plants love bathrooms. So they love the humidity, they love that it's moist. So many plants thrive in a bathroom environment. So just as an example, you could have a trailing plant like a devil's ivy coming off the windowsill if your windowsill's deep enough, or even in some shelves that you have, or a shower niche or a bath niche, you could have a trailing plant and they look beautiful, the greenery, against any color tile. You could have plants in plant stands and they can be placed either in a cluster, in a corner. They're really good for a corner that you think, oh, we talk about this a lot with our clients, I've got this dead corner. But actually it's not. It's a really beautiful opportunity to add a plant in that corner. You need to create height. So you can also have them on a stand. You could have hanging plants from the ceiling. Now at build stage, you probably need to put a noggin in the ceiling so that there is some support there in terms of if you've got a very specific location that you want it to come down. But hanging plants from a ceiling are absolutely decorating gold, in the short corner of a shower or in another corner within the bathroom. You could have a small plant just in a really tiny little pot, just on your vanity, either on the side or centered between 2 basins. So plants to try would be devil's ivy, orchids to add a little bit of color, chain of hearts, spider plants. They also hang and drape really beautifully, or air plants. They also thrive in that sort of environment, and they don't even need a pot. You can sort of scatter them around or hang them. Air plants are fantastic. So there's some ideas with regards to plants. You're going to do anything out of anything I say today, add a plant. Then there's the obvious one like towels. Now, we have a lot of clients say, oh, I want to keep the bathroom quite neutral which is absolutely fine because we can choose some amazing tiles that have got a lot of texture and a lot of movement in them, and they can still be very, very neutral. So towels are a fantastic way to inject texture, pattern, and or color into a space. So if you haven't used color in perhaps your tiles or in your vanity, this is an excellent way to now add some color into the space. And it also can be quite reflective of your mood. The color may be reflective of your mood. The seasons may actually determine the color that you actually want to have in your bathroom. So I've got a really wide selection of colors because sometimes I'm in sort of an aqua mood, other times I'm into my, mustard mood, and it just depends. You need to make sure though that the color of the towel, the tone of the color, is marrying in with the tone of the bathroom. So for example, you want to make sure that you're using warm colors with the warm hard materials in your bathroom. And conversely, if you've chosen a cool toned bathroom, you need to make sure that the towels are also in a cool colorway. So great opportunity. There's some amazing designs out there in terms of colors and in terms of textures. Some of the Turkish towels are really beautiful as well. So there's lots of different things that you can do with your towels, and it's so easy to mix it up. Then there's artwork. Now, artwork is, a painted wall in a bathroom, if you haven't tiled floor to ceiling, is an ideal opportunity to hang some artwork. And I've actually had clients purposely left a wall clear of tiles because they know that there's a very specific piece of artwork that they'd like to incorporate into your bathroom. And it actually really does add a really unique feel to your own space, and it also is really injecting your own personality, like artwork does throughout your home regardless. And I have to say, I have actually left a wall clear of tiles so that I could add artwork from my travels, very specific Moroccan artwork that I really wanted to have on my walls in my bathroom. So I purposely left it clear, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you've got that in mind, that's the sort of aesthetic and look that you're after, or you really want to inject some artwork, then by all means do. Great way to really add some flair. Mirrors, that's another one that you can utilize. Now, mirrors, from a storage perspective, a shaving cabinet is an ideal opportunity, and is the obvious one for storage reasons. And I'm so pleased to see that shaving cabinets are now coming in different shapes, and they're not just in a rectangular shape. They're actually now available in round and also oval. And it just means that you can get the storage in, but you've still got a beautiful aesthetic of not necessarily having rectangles. Now, in a powder room, for example, where storage requirements may not be as high, you don't need to store as much in a powder room, opt for a decorative mirror so a framed mirror over a piece of mirror that's just stuck to the wall, which is, sure, it's going to add space and the reflective elements of a mirror that brings into a room. But if you've got a framed mirror, you're actually then adding, an element of design. Sometimes you could have a really, go all out on the mirror, on the frame of the mirror, and it just adds another design component into that space. So please opt for organic shapes, oval or round, rather than going for rectangular or square. As with all decorating, when you're starting to use organic shapes, it breaks up all the rectangles in our life. It's softer, and it's just visually more appealing. Now, if you're listening to this as it's been recorded, which is in May 2021, we're now in a time where curves are really big, and they're being utilised in so many different ways, which is fantastic because they are so much softer in terms of their aesthetic. You're avoiding sharp corners, but they just feel and look so much softer as well. So go for the curves, go for the organic shapes if you can. Baskets are another way or another thing that I inject into a space, into a bathroom. So they always, no matter which basket or what the type of basket, open weave, close weaved, they always create some sort of homey and inviting atmosphere, no matter where they are. Baskets just, I don't know what it is, maybe because they're made of organic fibers, but they just add this sense of hominess. So baskets in bathrooms look fantastic, and they can be purely decorative. You can have the belly baskets, which are quite floppy. You could actually have a plant in a basket. You could have a basket that you're actually using to put towels in. I've seen baskets that are used to put toilet rolls in a powder room. They just add a soft element. So by all means, grab yourself a basket, and it can be purely decorative, or it can be something that you're going to use as well, which is, doubles up as storage. The final one that I feel has got a place in a bathroom is the use of stools. Now, you could have a corner where you can use a stool. It could be by the bath or even in the shower if your shower is large enough. But having a stool really is, not only is it adding to the decor, but it also is it's also serving a purpose. So you could have the stool by the bath that you can sort of use as a shelf. If you're in there, you've got your glass of wine on there, you might have a candle on the stool, or they're actually very, very useful when you're sitting next to the bath having to wash your kids or so forth, rather than, the knees on the hard floor, which was always a killer and trying to get up. My children are a little bit older now. But they are really, really practical, certainly to sit on, but also just to use as a little shelf. As a little side table, I should say, when you're, in the bath. But they're decorative in their own right, depending on the type of stool that you choose. You could even have them to pop a pot plant on. So instead of having a plant stand, you could actually use a little stool to put a plant on to create height. And that works really, really well in a corner where you do want to create height. You don't really want your plants sitting at, vanity height. You either want them lower or taller. And if they are in a corner, it really is good to get some height in there. You'll really feel the difference. I personally love vintage timber stools, like a Chinese milking stool. I think they add a lot of texture, they add a lot of character to a space, and I really like putting plants and so forth on little stools that are really, really low, the milking stools in particular, and they just look great. So lots of ideas. Choose what appeals to you most. These are just some ideas. It's by no means the be all and end all list of decorating things and ideas that you can add to your bathroom. These are the main ones. These are the concepts that I think are easier to grasp, easier to pull into your bathroom, but nothing's set in stone. So try different things. As with all decorating, it can be moved around. It's not fixed. Have a go with some of the things that I've mentioned today. Don't forget about the plants, and just, experiment with color, experiment with tone, experiment with layering, experiment with different heights, and just, have a bit of fun with it. And don't ever forget that, it doesn't have to stay like that forever. I'm forever moving things around and changing the plants that I've got in there, or one plant's not working, so I'll move it out and use another one. There's so many different things that you can do. So have fun. Experiment and maybe push the boundaries a little bit with things that you may not gravitate to normally. And whatever you do, it's going to, make such a difference than just having a completely sparse and bare bathroom, which is really not appealing in anyone's book. So I hope that's given you some great ideas today. Don't forget, book a chat. If you feel that you need some help with any of these things, we can chat through ways that I and the team at White Pebble Interiors can help you. So by all means, book a chat on the website. And if you're listening to this at time of recording, which is in May this year, or 2021, I should say, because you might be listening to this in 2025, there is the 5 key design mistakes that people make with their bathroom webinar that's on the 20th of May, which is coming up very, very quickly. So that's now open to register. So you can register. It's a free webinar that I'm hosting, and that's from 7 till 8 p.m. on the 20th of May, Australian Standard Time. So I hope you'll be able to join me. It's been very difficult for me to just choose 5, because there's lots of different things, lots of different paths that people can go down that are not ideal. But I'm going to choose the top 5 and run through the top 5 mistakes, the expensive mistakes, things that are really difficult to change or that are really painful to live with. So I'm choosing my top 5 to run through with you next week. So I hope you'll join me, and I look forward to having you here, same place, same time next week. Next week, I'm going to be talking about powder rooms and how you can inject super personality into your powder room, and also how you can make your powder rooms work super hard for you. Sometimes they're forgotten or often forgotten, not really an important space, but I'm going to let you know next week why they are super important. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of My Forever Home. If you're ready to renovate or build a new home and you need help to create a beautiful and functional forever home, you can book a chat with me directly at whitepebbleinteriors.com.au/chat. Have a great day.